today we'll talk about mental health and body health, and with Rojhan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, but we can call her just Ro. I'll do it that way. She's from Toronto, Ontario. And how are you, Ro?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. It's 8 p.m. here. We have a kind of different time zone, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2
Hi.
p.m. for
I
me.
see. I see the light in your windows.
The light.
Here is night. Here is night. It's night already.
It looks
Yeah, yeah.
bright in your room, though.
Yeah, because I have many lights. I have many lights. Yeah. So, do you want to talk a bit more about yourself? Do you want to introduce? I think it would be interesting to know how you became a developer, what kind of technologies you used, what are you using now. So, whatever you want.
Sure. So my name, as mentioned before, is Ro, and I am a front-end web developer. Technically, my journey started in 2018. I started off by just being curious of what web development is and how to get there. I had a little bit of bumps in the road because, like, financially, it was just too much. I couldn't do it, but I felt like this connection to wanting to create really cool things and cool projects. And so I met a lot of people in the industry who helped guide me into finding a way to put my foot in that door and make sure that I do become a developer. So I officially became a developer this year. I graduated from Juno College in July. And since then,
Congratulations.
I've been, thank you. Since then, I've been basically just upskilling. I did have a job at one point, but I realized that I wanted something a little bit more hands-on with React or JavaScript so that I could explore and upskill that a little bit better. And so now I'm job hunting again, and I'm also doing a couple courses with React. I did start a full stack course too, but for a junior, I'll be honest, it was a little bit of a jump. Like, I was kind of like, you know what, maybe I need to take a step back and just focus on JavaScript and React again.
I know.
But
I know that feeling that at least you feel okay. I have to step back because you keep going, then you have to do more steps back. So, yeah, if
yeah,
you if you understand this earlier, maybe it's better. Yeah.
yeah. The nice thing is I'll always have the notes because it is from the same school. And
Mhm.
so when I am ready, I can look at those notes and try to self-teach because that I feel like I've heard this through so many people. Once you kind of understand one language a little bit, like a little bit better, then when you try to learn other languages, it's a lot easier to kind of ease into it.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. 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 Yes. Yeah. So, okay. And what's the technology that you like the most? What do you, from your experience, what's something that really is really interesting for you?
Well, as mentioned, I do like JavaScript and React, but I am curious about other languages, but again,
Hmm.
down the line. And
Okay.
this is probably an unpopular opinion, maybe, I don't know. But my favorite is CSS because I get to create really cool things. Like, I don't know, you've seen Annie and Cass on Twitter. They make really cool CSS art, and I
Uh,
look up to
I,
them for that.
I,
Yeah.
I follow many of them. I hope to have one of them soon. I really don't really. I'm not a CSS expert, and every time I watch this sort of stuff done with CSS, I'm still trying to center my div. I feel bad. I feel so
Oh,
bad. I'm so amused, but yeah. I think it can be really powerful if used in the correct way. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like I used just CSS to create a character, like a cartoon character
Mm,
from Adventure Time, and that ended up on the front page of CodePen. And it was my first
mm,
CSS art that I made. So I was very shocked that they picked me, and it felt really good because I was like, I made that. That's so
yeah.
cool.
Nice, nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it will be interesting, yeah, to maybe explore a little bit more about CSS. Maybe I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe in the future if I do that because there are so many things to do. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. So thank you. And okay, now I would like to focus on the main reason why I contacted you because I know that we have talked many times about this topic. So would you like to talk to us about mental health, especially for developers? Because I think that many of, not maybe not everyone, but many of the people who are watching these videos are developers, I think. So yeah, please.
Yeah. So one thing I notice a lot is people who are on Twitter, because I met you and I met a lot of people through Twitter, they will talk about their struggles, but they don't really have anyone to turn to. So they publicly post it on Twitter. And the issue with that is it never gets resolved because this is something that's happening to them. And you're getting random people saying, oh, I'm so sorry, or you're experiencing this, that's so hard. But there's no like true support and there's no way to really talk it through with someone. And I noticed this pattern from when I started my bootcamp journey in May. So from May until now, I see developers posting this, and I decided halfway through bootcamp that I wanted to do something to help people. So I created a mental health group called Devs Helping Devs. So there's a Twitter where we just basically update people here and there about like how to take care of themselves with mental health or reminding people to do mental health check-ins. But the main community lives on Discord, and we have that Discord invite on our bio, like just underneath on the Twitter group. And what we do is we just listen to each other. We are a group of people who are developers that want to hear how other people are doing. We do check-ins, we make sure that everyone's doing fine, and it's a community effort. So you are going in to get support, and just as equally, you are giving support. So you just check in and see how people are doing, and it's been really helpful. Like some of people's darkest days have been basically helped through that.
I really love this idea. Yes, I think I'll support. I want to support also this project. Yeah, I'd love to do that. And yeah, I've seen that you've talked about this many times, but yeah. So the people who come to this Discord server, for example, because I think that sometimes it's hard to look for help. Yeah, because I think that sometimes, even for me, maybe in the past, I would have used that Discord server maybe in the past. Sometimes I think that the most difficult part, I don't know, is to get started with looking for help. So can you talk about this? Because sometimes maybe we want to solve our problems by ourselves, but sometimes I think just a little bit of help could be really it could make the difference. I think. I don't know. I don't know if I'm right or not. What do you think about this?
You're spot on. There are a lot of people who feel like they can't come in because they're scared to open up. But I was suggested from a friend, her name is Oksana, and she's from my bootcamp. She suggested that I create another channel within the group that's called Support Partner. And so what that is a channel where you can pop in and say, hey, I'm looking to privately talk about this issue I'm having. Is anybody available? This way you're not like opening this big topic by yourself. And in terms of wanting to have somebody come in and get interested in the first place or feel like they are safe to do so, we actually set up something so that when you join our Discord, you don't have access to it at all. The only thing you can see is something called intros, or actually it's called waiting room. And we just basically explain, hey, like when you come, you have to fill out a form. And what that form does is it's sent to the moderators of the group, myself and a couple others who are volunteering their time, which they are the best, so thank you. We look it over. We basically look at their Twitter account to see, who they are, if they are someone who talks about mental health, so that we know that they are looking for support as well as giving support to others. And then we also make sure that they're not like a troll, like somebody who's going to hurt someone in the group, because it is possible that anybody could get in. And we're dealing with a very fragile topic, so we don't want just anyone coming in. We want to make sure that
Yeah.
you are aware that this is a
Yeah.
safe space to come to.
Yeah, this exists to help people, not just to
Yeah, to
to
wreak havoc and hurt people's feelings.
I think we can have fun like out of there are plenty of places when we can have fun, but I think that you should moderate this Discord server properly, because
Yeah. Anyone could just, like, we did have a situation in the very beginning where somebody came in and they said something that was a little bit harsh, and not a little bit, it was crossing the line. I'm not going to say it because I want to respect the privacy, but I messaged them privately and told them, hi, like, this kind of language is not acceptable in our group, and they removed themselves. They just I think they realized that they're just not in the right place. They left.
I don't know.
And
Yeah, maybe they don't think that it's really possible. That maybe they think that you have that you want to get something from the people. That it's not possible that you are there to help someone. Maybe maybe I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Sorry, but I can't really understand this. Yeah, what you do is it's really great. And when does did this started this Discord server, this kind of group, this idea?
I think I thought of the idea in July, but I officially started the group in September, because July I was still
okay. So it's kind of new, because I haven't maybe I've heard about that one or two times. Yeah, so maybe I missed it a bit, because yeah. So now this is also why I do this kind of calls, because I can really focus on just one person for half an hour, because really when you are on the social medias, the timeline just scrolls. It's hard. It's so hard to notice something important like this. So thank you. Now I know that this call is really worth also for me, because now that I know this situation, I hope I can do something about
You're
that.
definitely welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for making this notice. Yeah. So yeah, and so this is very good that what you're doing, and yeah, but I'll also would like to talk a little bit about body health, how to stay fit, because this is something that is really interesting for me. I come from the sport world, so I think it's also one of the reasons why we talk so much. So yeah, I don't know if you have talked already about this, but I want to hear what to do. What do you do? What do you suggest to people about this topic?
Yeah, so with fitness, it's a little tricky right now because obviously there are a bit of restrictions. Like, not everyone can maintain what works for them. So initially for me, before COVID, I was doing a couple of classes, like group classes that really helped. Like, they were very intense, and they were kind of like HIIT classes. And for those who don't know, HIIT classes are high intensity interval training. So you're doing a lot of quick cardiovascular, quick spurts of exercise, and then taking a small break and then continuing, and then thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? This hurts, everything hurts. But
okay, this is just to ask yourself that those seconds are why I'm here.
why? And then the instructor goes, and back to burpees, and you're like, okay. But yeah, so there was a company called Barry's Boot Camp, and they would do these almost these like sets where you would run and do intervals on the treadmill, and then after I think like 10 minutes of torture, you jump back down, and then you do weights, and then you're like, oh my god, it's like so intense, and it burns. Like, it's one of the best workouts ever, but it hurts. But it gave me the results that I needed, and it made sure that I was actually testing myself in ways that I wasn't before. And doing these classes kept me interested because it was very high energy and motivating. Now, the thing is, we're not doing that right now because we can't go to the gym. So they actually have online classes, and I do attend a couple of them. Not always, because I'm trying to find a routine that works best for me. And I feel like the thing that works best is not like constant go, but creating a habit and building on that habit. And I've mentioned this before, but I read a book called The Power of Habit, and this book has been helping me with like all the cravings that I have, the constant want to order Uber Eats or order delivery when I
Mhm.
don't need to. It's also helped me with actually committing to my workout routines and making sure that I keep doing them. And
Oh,
the other thing is I created a hashtag called 100 Days of Move. And the
I
purpose,
know that. Yeah, I know that.
yeah, no,
I followed that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
So
this,
so you created the tag. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was me.
Yeah, now I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was having a hard time. Like at the beginning, I think I went up to 2 or 3 weeks, but I had a hard time because I reached some bumps in the road. And because my habits were all over the place, I couldn't commit to it anymore. And that was an issue. But now that I have started committing again because I found like basically a formula to follow that's been helpful. I'm starting the 100 days of move, and I'm on week 2 now, so that's really good. And it's really not about constantly working out because it does intimidate people who aren't used to exercising. It's for people like us who are developers sitting all day every day to remind ourselves
Um,
to get up,
yeah. I thought.
go for a walk.
I walk almost every day. Maybe you know this because and also I take some selfie when I go to
Yeah,
this morning walks. Yeah, I did like one poll like some months ago. Like, how many times do you work out? And I didn't expect some strange results, but I got like 50% of people said zero. So it's kind of it this hit me so hard because I'm also looking for people who makes workout and exercise. So I expected maybe there are even more than 50% of people who are developer which really don't exercise. So I got some jokes. I know that this is a stereotype. We all make jokes about this that yeah, developers they don't marry, they don't have any relationship. This is a stereotype. We all know
yeah,
this. We can make jokes about this, but I think that we should also say that seriously that by doing the body activity I think that your mind also changes. It's more active.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I said this also. This sometimes already in these calls that there's no point in just staring at your monitor for 5 hours. You
yeah,
aren't doing anything. Maybe it will be better to just go for a walk for 5 hours instead of just watching the monitor. In that case, even if you're a coder, I think so. Maybe yeah. So and so, what do you think is the good relationship between the body and the mind and the coding? Because they are three things that they maybe you need some time to do all of them.
mhm.
All right. Sometimes we don't have that much time. So, what would you suggest to someone, or what's your experience in doing this? When do you exercise, or
For me, when I wake up, the first thing I do is I just kind of like orient myself. So I start every day with this journal called the 5 minute journal.
Mhm.
And that is to kind of help with like the mind and making sure that I'm feeling okay. Like this is where like the mental health comes in. I do a check-in to see how am I feeling. Is my anxiety okay? Is my anger okay? Whatever it is that I have, like, am I doing okay? And if the answer is yes or no, I have to address it. So that's how I start. Then I do the journal. I just write down because it's set up like this, the journal. You write down 3 things that you are grateful for, 3 things that will make today amazing, and then a daily affirmation. So you basically say like, I am amazing, or I can do anything, or I will learn React and I'm capable of doing this, just to keep that in your head. So you start your day with that. From there, I do my workout because I want to make sure that I'm getting it in. And I prefer morning workouts anyway. It feels like a good way to start the day and like energize yourself. As you said, like it kind of like helps with like getting your brain
yeah.
awake.
Hmm.
And then from there, that's when I like after that eat breakfast and then start my day do coding. I was also thinking of at the end of the day adding a little bit of very light yoga or stretching, because if you're sitting all day, your muscles are going to get tight. So when you go to do the workouts, you're more prone to injury because you're
Yeah.
not letting your muscles exercise at all.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. We can't last 20 or 30 years without exercising. It will be really really hard. Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
sometimes maybe you want to fix that bug. Maybe you need to say just 5 minutes more, but yeah, we need to balance this. I think we need to stop at one time because our body needs us. So yeah, we need
Yeah.
to to just stop because sometimes the breaks are really great also to fix your bugs. So sometimes you will do better if you just stop, take a walk, take a run. It also I think it also depends on the person, on how many times. But yeah, I think that we all should not do zero exercise or zero workout. So that, in my opinion, that is bad. To if you can do any type of exercise, you should. I think, yeah. So at least minimum. I don't know. Yeah, I saw you posted with that hashtag that even maybe some stretching, some little exercises. I watched some of them. So
Mhm.
yeah, for example, one idea could be just use that tag invented by Raw, and maybe you this I think this is just a little bit to force yourself through. So if,
Yeah,
for example, if you're just using the 100 days of code, you can also do that in the same way. So you even post more, so you have more things to post if you use Twitter. So
exactly.
why not? Yeah, why not? So yeah, and
It's the same thing as 100 days of code, except the difference is you're doing a little bit of code with the 100 days of code,
mhm,
but with 100 days of move, you're doing a little bit of move,
yeah.
or you're doing a lot of movement. It's really up to the person, but it's a way to introduce movement without them feeling like they are like absolutely chained to exercising all the time. It's not about exercise, it's just about creating and building habits.
Yeah.
And I feel like people easily drown themselves uh in the cycle of just working and coding nonstop. Like when I was in boot camp, my eyes one time, like in the middle here, it was like bloodshot red because I was coding from like 12 till 12 and so on. Like I just constant coding. Not healthy.
Yeah. I think that there should be a limit of the hours of coding because, yeah, I think that it's more about consistency and not just code one day for 20 hours. Maybe maybe there is also the risk that you maybe get tired of coding, you start hating something because if you stay lot of hours just code. It happened to me, for example,
Mhm.
that there was a period that I coded so many hours per day, and maybe after some weeks I just started to hate coding a little bit, just a little bit, and
Yeah,
so I had to stop, and I had to just train. I think for 1 or 2 weeks. So maybe it would have been better if I would have balanced those two activities during these weeks, because yeah, we are humans. We need everything. We need the exercise for our mind and our body. If we neglect one of them, then I think we start feeling the needing of the other one.
yeah,
That's how it works. If we yeah so yeah, and I think that yeah, the body activity is also, maybe it's more important than just coding and just sitting in front of a computer. And I say this even if I love coding. I love coding. In the last years I've coded very a lot.
yeah,
But yeah, we should also everything every time to find some time even for ourselves, because when I think when we work out, when I take a walk, for example, in the morning, I am with myself. I can see the sunrise. The days also starts well. So when I get back, take a shower, and then you are really ready for coding. This is my experience. I don't know if any of us can wake up so early. It depends of the person. Every time I post that waking up early is good, I take someone who says, "Oh, but you can also wake up late." Oh, yeah, of course you can. It's not a problem. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we are all different. But there are some good habits that I think that they could work. Yeah, so we are different, but yeah, there are some good habits. I think that everyone could agree by okay, so exercise is good, but by doing that, it's a bit different. Just agreeing it, yeah, you are right, and then you just
Yeah.
go the 16 hour.
Yeah.
So
That's the other thing too. Like that's the hardest part is starting.
yeah,
And the thing is like you have to ask yourself like what is my why? So why am I doing this?
yeah,
And that's when you say, okay, well, what are the benefits of exercising? Well, it's a break from coding, which is totally normal and it's a part of a healthy work-life balance. It helps me strengthen so that I have a nice healthy body so that, as I age, it doesn't, shut down on me. And so that when I want to do simple tasks, I'm not finding myself huffing and puffing. Like going up and down the stairs shouldn't be something that leaves you out of breath at the end of the day. And I know there are a lot of people who experience that. But then again, I'm not saying that it's wrong if you don't exercise. If it's not your thing, that's okay. But you have to find something to give yourself a balance. So this is
yeah,
where meditation comes in because I was very much like, I don't need meditation. And it's hard for me too because I do have ADHD. So my mind is constantly going elsewhere and I have to remind myself, come back in. So
yeah,
meditation kind of helps with that because you're forcing your brain and your mind to focus on basically nothing, just your breath and taking it slow and taking it easy. So if exercise
yeah,
isn't your thing, then consider meditation. And there are a lot of apps that can help you. There's one that a developer named Ray suggested to me, and that is called Waking Up. And that one's been nice.
yeah,
You wake up and you turn it on and you just tune out and you give that a try. But
yeah.
my suggestion, if you're already very sleepy, don't turn it on because you might fall back to sleep because it's very soothing. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, they are different things. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, I think that also I don't know if there are really the training for developing. I mean in the for the mind, but I think that by doing meditating, so to stay focused on something, it's really a skill that could really help during coding. I think because that's something that you really need when you code. You need to focus on something. So to have the skill of getting focused is one really. I don't think. Yeah, sometimes I get some people says that we don't have time to exercise, we don't have time to meditate, we don't have time to do things. But yeah, in the end, I think at the end of the day, if you do a little bit of all of them, I think that your day will be better. I think,
For
and
sure.
if you think about this by doing this every day for 1 month, 1 year, at the end of the year, I don't. Maybe you have coded less hours, but the code is more about quality. So if you do, you can do pretty good job. In not you don't really need so many hours because you can solve the same problem in 30 minutes or 4 hours. And I think if you are in if you can give the best of yourself, maybe you can also solve problems in less time. So, and yes, and you also feel good. So that's yeah. So this is a topic that it's really interesting for me. You know why we talk about sport and running. So I really love to. Sometimes it's hard for me to find the developers who are really into the fitness world.
Mhm.
I hunt for them every time. Yeah, 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 really. Yeah, because sometimes it's hard to find them because
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be
yeah,
easier after this chat. When people see it, they go, oh, maybe I should start doing 100 days of
yeah.
move.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to. I'd love that. And yeah, I think that yeah, what you said it's great that if you get started, then you don't even know. Maybe you can start with a workout 5 minutes, and the
Yeah.
day after you can do 10 minutes. Yeah, and it's totally fine. Then you can find, but you should get started in doing this, as you say, to create an habit. I totally agree with that.
Mhm.
And then you'll see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is for our mind. I always say that I train, I run for my mind. For example, these kind of videos, they exist because I thought about them during my work in the morning. Because when I work in the morning, I don't have the city is still quiet. The sun is rising, so you put yourself in the best. Um, you have the best state for yourself to maybe
Mhm.
have also some good idea. I heard many people who say that this is a nice idea, but you have to put yourself in the good state to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you feel bad, then you you are. I think that also if you are not fit, you don't exercise. You don't put yourself in the best way to have good ideas, good code. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe you can do. Maybe if you are just finished something one day, you can code 1 hour more or 2 hours more. But it should not be the standard. I
Yeah.
would say just to
Like you don't have
code,
to.
until you sleep on your keyboard. Yeah,
Exactly. Like that
that's
should
not
not
good.
be your life.
And yeah, and I say that it happened to me. There was a phase in the beginning that sometimes I felt asleep on the keyboard. That's not healthy. Yeah. So I changed this. So I say this because I don't know, maybe someone who says, okay, no, but you come from the sport world, so you don't understand me. Just
Yeah.
just let me code until I fall asleep. I did this and this is wrong. So I say this also maybe to have someone who is watching this. I don't know, is to stop. Please stop doing that to yourself, please, because it's
Yeah.
not good. Yeah, and then when I noticed that, I stopped, and I also changed my habit. Now I'm
Mhm.
an early person. You don't have to be an early person. Yeah, yeah, I had someone who said, but you wake up so early, but you can also get the same stuff done. The world is quite also in the evening. Yes, of course, of
Yeah.
course. It's not a problem. Yeah, so yeah, maybe just some hints and some to get some good habits. I don't think that they can hurt anyone. So yeah, so thank you for your ideas, because I would love to talk more about these kind of topics, because you know that they are really interesting for me to talk about, because it's something that maybe sometimes it's a topic that not everyone talk about. That we talk about bugs and which one is the best JavaScript framework all day long. We
Yeah.
talk about yeah, and it's totally fine. Yeah, but we should also talk about this. This is why I would love to invite also you another time whenever you want, and other people on this kind of topic, because it's something that touches me from real. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you, Ro. It has been really great. And yes, and I'd love to hear if you have 5 more minutes, if you have, about your future plans, or what are you doing? Where can we find you? There is his portfolio, for example. But which are your future plans for the future? Do you plan your life? Yeah.
Well, I think, well, first of all, thank you also for having me. It's been a lot of fun, and I
Yeah.
love talking about mental health
I,
as
wa-
well
I
as
wanted I wanted to have
fitness.
you as soon as possible. So sorry, I wanted to have you even before before today, but at least we have done this. Yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's done.
But where you can find me, I mean, of course, you can find me on Twitter tweeting away about anything. So that would be at Rosacoder.
Mhm,
And if you were looking to find me on my portfolio, it's also www.rosacoder.com.
mhm,
But in general, like for my future, I was hoping to find employment where I could get a mentorship inside of a company so that I
Mm.
could get a little bit more hands-on experience with like the actual dev world, like what it's like to code in the real world. Because right now, a lot of my projects are side projects, and I want to work within like a company where I could, actually do a PR request, like I haven't been able to do that yet because I'm still not in a company where I am coding. So it'll be really nice to do that finally. Like that will be my ideal goal. And also because mental health and fitness are very important to me, finding the right company is very important to me. So a company that values these things. So you will find me in a company that is valuing mental health and fitness somewhere along the lines.
Oh no, yes, I think that will be really, really great for you to,
Yeah.
yeah, because if you need to stay there, you need to find the good environment for you, the perfect environment for you. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
we can stay somewhere where we don't like, but it will not last that long. I think so. It can last
No.
a little bit, but it depends on the person. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's important for people to know their worth and know what they need from a company.
Mhm.
If they're working somewhere and they realize it's not working for them, then that's fine. They can go somewhere else that actually works for them.
Mhm.
I never like I've been working jobs for the last 10 years, and
Mhm.
I never ever stay at a place that makes me feel uncomfortable or unhappy, because we only live one life. There's no point in staying somewhere that's not going to make you happy every day, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no point in earning just earning money without if you lose your health and your mental health. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Of course. Yeah. So thank you, really thank you. Yeah. So I'd love to make an episode too. Sometimes I don't know. I still don't know. I've done many of those kind of videos right now, and I'd love to keep going. Yeah. So, and what do you think? Do you like this sort of videos? Would you change something, or have you watched maybe some of them or not?
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe what we can do to do
Mm-hmm.
something a little different is like a quick 5-minute video to share with people how they can easily work out using just their chair. Because there are
Hmm.
ways to do that where you're not doing a full workout, but like even just a quick stretch, you can
Yeah,
show people how to do that.
yeah. If you do a video about that, I'll help you. If you want to do that, yeah, I can help you to share it because I'm really
Yeah,
into that topic. So that will be really interesting. I think. Yeah,
yeah,
it will
I
be
agree.
really great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, so thank you, Ro.
thank
And
you.
yeah, see you next time. See you
Yeah,
soon. Yeah,
have a good one. Thank you.
yeah. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.